Okay, so I realize that a lot of people think that it's impossible to fix their cravings, or like they don't feel like they can relate all the time with me because they think that I don't have cravings. So I do. So I'm going to be reporting that today. What I do, like just simple tips and tricks that I do throughout the day when I'm like feeling hungry and I'm not recognizing that this isn't hunger, this is a different emotion. So it's this morning I ate my breakfast around 6 o'clock. I had a half a bowl of keto cereal that I have here. Not because I'm keto, only because it doesn't have a lot of added sugars in it. And so I'm going to share that with you. And my kids hijacked my bowl of cereal. So I did not eat enough breakfast, but I'm really not wanting to just snack all day. So I had like probably a half a cup of that and then a cucumber while I made the kids' lunches. And I'm starting to feel hungry now. It's not quite lunchtime. I just had the helpful reminder. I went to the bathroom. I recognize that my pee is way too yellow. So instead of eating right now, what I'm going to do is be focusing on rehydrating. And I know that at this time, usually before lunch, I like to consume at least two of these, which is about 60 ounces of water. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I looked in the toilet, I went pee, I'm like, I'm getting hungry. I was sitting there having like a bored moment, taking care of the baby. And I'm like, I didn't drink enough water. This thing is still full from the morning. And I made my herbal tea this morning and I didn't even drink it yet. So I know that I'm way low on fluids, and this is something that I like to do right away in the morning, and I just haven't gotten to it because I was busy being a mom. So now I have the free time. I'm taking the hint from the bathroom. I'm using the information to tell me to do something different. So I'm going to be hydrating, and I know that this is going to curb my appetite, and having another hot cup of tea, that's going to take off the edge. If you are feeling like cravings, though, like I want something sweet, I want something blah, 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 fill in the blank, this is the time that I suggest using L-glutamine. So if I had cravings for sweet stuff, I would take out one of these L-glutamines, pour, take out the capsule, or you can get a powder as well. Take out this, pour this straight on your tongue, and that's going to help curb the cravings as well. So that's my first tip for the day. Okay, so I just drank my water and I'm just craving something different. So I'm gonna make lemonade, and lemonade is something that I've just fallen in love with since I've been in Hawaii, and it's a super it's a healthy way to make it. So why not? And for those people that just say they get sick of drinking water all day, then this is a perfect option for you. So I just got like one of these little lemon things, and you can just put your lemon right on it and squish it. And lucky for me, my sweet little neighbor has a lemon tree, so they bring us over lemons, and when it's not in season, then I just go and grab it from the store. But it is nice to have fresh, organic lemons right at my fingertips. Um, and lemons also are really great for the gut health, and actually shredding the peel with a lemon zester, it actually helps detoxifying the liver as well. So for liver support, you can take your lemon and just add in the zest. And so this is my zester, and this is mom life, always doing something with a baby in my hand. And then I'm just gonna do that, get some of the peel in there, and then my natural sweetener is going to be the erythritol or the monk fruit. You could also use honey, like your natural local honey is a great alternative for sweeteners. And what else do I like? Oh, stevia. So any of those are great sweeteners for your lemonade or your teas, and you can just put in a little bit, taste it. It really doesn't take a lot because they are more sweet than sugar, so it doesn't take a lot to sweeten it. I'm gonna grab some filtered water. If you're not already filtering your water, then you should be, because all the chemicals that's added to our other waters. And so the Alexa Pure purifies it. So here's my yummy lemonade. and it's so good. It's tart, and if you're really into sweet, then just add a little bit more honey to sweeten it. And this is going to fix my cravings right now of just having some kind of flavor, and also be giving me the liver support and detoxifying, and also um, give me the acidity from the lemon, which is great for boosting the metabolism and regulating your blood sugar. I just did. Are we on? We're on. I just had some couscous with vegetables and kimchi. And kimchi is like one of those foods, or any fermented foods, that really helps like curb my appetite. But I'm wanting something like juicy, crunchy, sweet. So this is what I got: a watermelon, and I also pulled out another little treat. I'm gonna show you guys, which is brownies. I told myself first I'll have some watermelon. See if this makes the craving go away. It is tasting really darn good right now. But I pulled out these brownies and I set them on the counter, so I'm likely gonna have one now. And one of the things that I promised to myself when I met my husband, because he has a really hard time stopping when he likes something that I make, so he'll overeat. And like all of us will do that, right? To a point. But it would be like I would go through an entire batch of like cookies or brownies in a day. And so I said to myself, instead of making things that I can't have or that are not good for me, I'm going to make all the things I like to eat in a way that's healthy. So that these are actually sweet potato, peanut butter, and banana brownies. And there's literally like the only sugar that you see in these brownies are from naturally occurring fruits and vegetables, which is absolutely amazing. And then I added some cocoa powder to it and some vanilla, and that's what you're looking at here. Like literally that's it. So I don't ever have to feel guilty or shame about eating too many brownies. And also I can offer my kids brownies and cookies for breakfast. So that's a big win. So here I am, my snack. I'm gonna curb my appetite with these things. All right, I'm craving something salty. I got whole cashews. They are with salt, and I love them. Replaces the need for like chips or something like that to me. And they're salted, and the cashews are high in fats, which just makes you feel like you're having this treat, and it's really good healthy fats. So bon appetit. What you making?
A lettuce wrap
Yeah.
with a taco on it.
Yum. Okay, so these are my homemade bars, and these are granola bars, and they are literally like protein packed, filled with essential fats, and there's some chocolates in there that you can see. It completely hits the sweet tooth button, and it's just my favorite thing to have for dessert at the end of the night. So we just had some lentil burgers, and I'll probably snack on this little piece of bar, and that's it for my day of what I'm eating and craving. All right, you guys, so I'm checking in for the end of the night as it is nearing towards wind down time. The kitchen's clean, so I'm basically done. Um, just I'm just done eating and all that. But I do want to talk a little bit more about just the emotional eating aspect, because ultimately, like these little tips and tricks I can teach you, like before we turn to hunger, we check and see if we're thirsty, and to curb our appetite, we can have lemon water. And also, I'm making myself a cup of tea right now. And so, fresh mimaki. And I'm going to add some ginger in there too as I burn my hand. But all these things are really just some behavioral things that you can do when you're having cravings, and just like kind of like checking in and checking those boxes. But the other component that I haven't talked about is the trauma and the emotional side of eating, and what we are experiencing at the time when we're having cravings. And that is something that I go into deep detail in one of my free master classes, which you can jump in on the link below and watch that. But I'm just going to go through an example with you tonight as I talk about kind of what I experienced today. And so you can get an idea of what that would look like in your life if you wanted to use some of these same techniques. And so the first thing I would encourage you to do is get a pen and paper and start to make note of what's going on at this time. So I'm going to do this verbally with you, and I do this with myself every day, really kind of reflecting and back on like what I ate, why was I eating, just kind of like a nighttime check-in, I guess I would call it. And I think of it as like, just kind of finding the meaning behind why I'm doing something. And so it's like that intentionality behind food. And when I have that kind of intention behind eating, food is my medicine. It's no longer just my comfort. So the first time I logged in to talk to you about emotional eating and cravings was it was about 10 a.m. when I was like, I'm hungry, but I recognized I didn't have thirst. And so at that time, I really was did not have enough calories in the morning, and so I like relied on the water to kind of help me through this snack time. And then after lunchtime, I had an idea in my head of things that would make me feel good. And at that point in my day, I was experiencing this lull of like, what else should I do for my business? And getting into this, working myself up in my head, where I was like creating stress in my body. And so that made me want to find this thing to escape to, which led to the feeling of the cravings, right? And then in this afternoon, the part that I wanted to eat something sweet after dinner is really just a habit that was ingrained in me from being a very young child. And so it was always, we ate dinner, and we had, at my dad's house, we'd have a bowl of ice cream, and at my mom's house, she would always be baking. So it was cookies or brownies or cake or ice cream, or all of it, at the same time. And so what I have done is found the recipes and things that are still nourishment for our body, that is still a treat to myself, and I can then dip into it. Is this a psychological thing? Is this an emotional unmet need? Is this a trauma bond? Is this an emotional connection to food? I'm missing family. And so when I look back on my day, I will go through those aspects of the food. And yes, we have these other tips and tricks in our bucket, but it's really that combination of all those things that will really land home and help you actually curb the cravings and stop emotional eating. Thank you so much for checking in, and you'll get a glimpse into my life another day this week. And I hope this inspired you with a couple ideas that you can do when you're having some cravings and you just need a little second to refresh and restart.